Hey everyone, and welcome back to This Is Your Reselling Life. I'm pretty excited for tonight's guest. We have Brad from Diary of a Flipper, all the way from Ballarat and Victoria. Pretty keen to have a chat about his reselling journey. So we'll get Brad up on the screen and see what has been going on. G'day, Brad. How are you?
Okay. Good. How are you?
Good. I was waiting for that actually. I was hoping you were going to bring that on board. I like that little entry that you do. G'day, Coco.
Yes, tradie background, mate. Tradie background.
I thought it might. I've heard it bantered around the bush a little bit when I was back in the trade. Yeah. Just everyone, let us know if you can hear us and see us properly. We will do a quick hello to everyone in the chat at the moment. So it looks like Cookie and the Haydens were first in chat. G'day, Chris. Thanks for popping along. Look, Mom Hustling, another great Aussie reseller in the chat as well. Thrifty Pixie. Brad's on the beers, so hopefully we get through without getting too loose. Captain Op Shop Nerds in as well, Toby. Jazz has dropped your link in as well, so make sure you head over there, guys, and check out Brad's work. Mel's in, Liz from Queensland, Dave C, Cara, obviously. Catch up with everyone. My mum's in, so she's going to get a bit of two Brads tonight. Tommy from the US is in. Okay, Tommy. Mel, it just jumped like about again. Mel, look, Mom. Is Brad wearing a Spider-Man suit underneath a jacket? No, I'm actually wearing a Space Jam t-shirt under the jacket. Thought I'd mix it up this week. Something a bit different. Michaela's in. We'll try and scroll to the bottom. Reseller Bron as well. Georgina, heap of people in. So thanks, guys, for coming along. Keen to get into Brad's story. So without any further ado, do you want to tell us a little bit about where your journey started, Brad?
So mine was a bit of the old when it rains it pours. We just kind of had a lot of things come in at once. My teeth went to shit, so I needed my wisdom teeth out. My car blew up. I spent a bit of cash on it, and it was going to cost, being a Jeep, I bought a Jeep, they're no good. Yeah. Being one of those, it was going to cost me a fortune to fix it. My wife was on maternity leave, and we just kind of extended it past her payments because we thought we were all cashed up and right to go, but that wasn't the case. So that was all kind of going on, and just thought it'd be good to kind of get a little bit of extra cash, and I was looking into it. And as people know, I do collect footy jumper and all that sort of stuff, and what I did with them in the past, I was just, as a lot of resellers do, I suppose, that collect things, is just kind of flip certain things to make a bit of money to fund the old collection. And being a pretty expensive habit, I had been doing a bit of that. So I kind of increased the amount that I was doing, and I sort of realized I could just sell, footy jumpers that have been signed by players and stuff for pretty good money. I was getting them relatively cheap and selling them for decent coin. Then I kind of started doing the same thing. There was some raffles on Facebook and all that sort of stuff going on. You kind of cap it at, 30 spots, $10 a spot. Yeah. I'd fill up pretty quick, and they were just flying out the door. I sort of found that to be just really good and really handy. So I was doing that, and I thought, well, if I can do it with that, why can't I do it with something else? So I sort of stepped out of the comfort zone and started doing a few rugby ones, and which is obviously a similar sort of thing, but I didn't know a heap about it, and started doing them. And then that continued on. I started watching a bit of YouTube and stuff, and thought, well, if I can do that, you can probably do it with other things, collectibles. I mean, I collect all sorts of things, so we'll have a bit of a watch. And I stumbled across this guy. I can't even remember who it was now, but he had a video up. It's probably someone known to me now, but he was just banging on about board games and that, and how sort of nostalgic people in their 20s want to rebuy the old board games and stuff. So, that's pretty interesting. So, funnily enough, later that night, a post popped up on Facebook Marketplace, someone selling about 36 board games for $30. So I just jumped on it, thought, right, we'll give this a crack. So I did that, bought that. The wife was sort of scratching her head while I come home with a bootload of board games. But anyway, I sort of just winged it and just started chucking. Like, I just went the wrong way about it. I didn't even check for pieces or anything. I just started chucking them on eBay. And luckily, they were all in good condition, and she'd looked after them. So luckily for me, that was a good thing. But I started selling, like, they were just basic stuff. And I remember one of them being Jumanji. I ended up selling for about $35.
Yeah,
and
nice.
a few weeks later, I sent it in Kmart for like $15 brand new. It's like, oh, well, there you go. So I realized that was sort of made me actually quite a bit of cash. But, well, we can sort of continue on from here. So then back on the old YouTube, and I actually stumbled across Damo's channel first.
Yeah.
I basically binge watched him and got some advice from him. And then I think the next day I went out, stepped foot in an op shop for the first time. It was all new to me, I suppose. I'd never been in one. So went in there and I just started grabbing shit and thought, oh, that's cheap. And I can't even remember half of it now. Most of it was crap. But some of it sold. So then I continued on. Then I kind of found a few other channels, found you guys and Retro Rescuers, a few of them guys, and just kind of binge watched everyone and picked up bits of information. And then just from then on, I just kept going. So that's how she all started.
And now you're here.
Now I'm here, yeah.
You quickly mentioned your collection, and you've got a couple in the background there. So you got old Liver on your left-hand side.
Yes,
and our good mate Kobe, who unfortunately passed away quite recently.
Yes.
So
yes, very sad.
Bit of a veil to him on your back wall there. So
yeah, absolutely.
And mainly footy jerseys that you're keeping for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Early days I did collect a lot of basketball jerseys. Nothing special. Probably 50% of my collection actually just came from Bali. It was just a matter of what I could have, what player I could have, what team I could have. I tried to get them all.
Yeah.
I sort of got over that pretty quick. Most of those jerseys kind of just turned to shit, just typical Bali quality, I suppose, and sort of held on to a few of the good ones. But the footy stuff, I got shitloads of them. Mostly Western Bulldogs. That's a team I'm pretty one-eyed about. I do have a few other clubs, but generally I will sell some of them if I can find like someone that supports a club or collects that club. I don't really flip I collect match worn and player issue jumpers, and I don't really flip them for profit. Only just because I'm a collector, and news gets around pretty fast when people are doing that sort of shit, and people won't look after you. And I still want to build my collection, so I don't tend to flip that sort of stuff. Only the occasional one, but it's mostly the Bulldog stuff.
So give us an education. What are you looking for when you're out looking for jerseys? Like you mentioned, match worn and player issue and stuff like that. How do you sort of tell the difference between that and a run-of-mill supporter jersey? Yeah,
so honestly, the chances of finding a match worn player issue like footy jumper in an op shop is pretty rare, although I have heard of it. The material is very light. It's very light material. It's about like the modern ones. It's just compared to a retail one that you'll buy from a shop. They're quite thick and heavy when you wear them. Their fit is really tight. So the players are wearing them skin tight. So the actual jumpers every jumper is unique to the player. They're all cut individually to the player, their sizing, but they still are size small, medium, large, sort of, etc. And if you get a medium, it's basically an extra small. They wear it that tight. I've tried in the past to wear some of these jumpers, and I can't get them over my chest. So you expect them to be these big brute footy players, but they're pretty small. So. And also for that sort of stuff, the player issue stuff, everything's sublimated. So all the sponsorships, all the logos, the number, everything. And in a lot of the modern ones, since about 2007, they actually have a little, like a wetsuit material GPS pocket in the back. So that's where they put their trackers in to follow the players around. The older ones are a bit harder to tell. You got to look at sort of the sponsors on it, the number on it, and try and work from there. But most of the older stuff, it is quite hard to tell if they're legit. But a lot of the older stuff, if they've got, your main players, their numbers on them, it's just a retail jumper. Yeah. If you get a very random number on it, it's a good chance it could be a player issue or potentially match worn.
Yeah, nice. There's a bit of a heads up for everyone out there if you ever come across one. Brad,
it's pretty unlikely. I did hear of a guy over in WA. He actually picked up a Dean Cox one, and they only had it. They had it priced at about $2 because it had blood stains on it. Collectors will pay through the roof for that. because they could actually photo match those stains. And whether that story is true or not, I've only heard that. I don't know the guy, but yeah, apparently it does happen. So
wow, that's crazy. I'll just say a few more hellos. People jumped in. So Sarah's jumped in from Look Mom, I'm Hustling. Game on Couple is right below him, which is why I was getting confused with names. Thanks for popping in, guys. Good to see you all here. Said hey to Ron earlier on. Beck King's dropped in as well, and a few others dropping in. So thanks for coming along, guys. Pretty keen to learn a bit more about Brad. If you guys have any questions along the way, please drop them in the chat. Jazz is saying, yeah, blood. Kara's also asking if it's like licking a nursery wall, which I think is a bit of a take back to the drink she offered up for you.
The old floral cider. That was no good.
Game on Couple saying making a clone of an AFL player. I'm not sure if that's on the radar, but you never know. Bron says she's going to DM you about the doggies. I'm sure you've got plenty of
always up for a doggies chat. Oh yeah.
We'll see how they go this year, but
that'll be all right, mate. That'll be all right.
So I've got a few questions on my little checklist here. So I guess you sort of touched on why you started reselling, in that you had a whole bunch of bills come up at the same time and all that. Now, what's your goals? So, like, why are you reselling at the moment? Are you sort of still working towards paying off bills and stuff, or are you sort of trying to take it?
Yeah, no. So we ended up buying a couple of new cars and all that sort of stuff. Now my wife's back working. She works for herself a couple of days a week, and everything sort of started going smoothly. So I kept sort of chugging along doing it because I was enjoying it. I was, we all love the thrill of the thrift and getting out there and finding bits and pieces and that. So I kept kind of doing it as basically a hobbyist. That's how I'd sort of call myself. I was just finding cool shit and selling it, and random shit. They're my favorite ones, just for picking up some random things and just seeing what people can pay for them. And anyway, I just kind of kept along with that, and I thought, well, it's another income essentially on top of what we're already getting.
Yeah.
And then I still work full time, so I'm kind of getting to the point with my full-time job. It's kind of up in the air. It's a dying art, so to speak, what I do. And that's printing newspapers. Everything's going digital. Yeah. But it's up in the air. You don't know how long we're going to be there. You don't know what's going to happen, sort of thing. So I just sort of thinking, well, when's the end going to come? What am I going to do if that goes? I've got mortgage to pay. I've got a family to support, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then it sort of continued on from there. I sort of thought, well, I work 12-hour night shifts, and I'm really getting over that. Yeah. So I thought, well, maybe it could be a way out. So I've kind of set some goals now where I just want to, build myself up, get some cash built up, and potentially just go completely part-time with another maybe part-time job. Yeah. And then just kind of wing it from there.
Yeah, no, definitely sounds like some good goals to me. Death by Glamour, Leanne has dropped in as well, so thanks for coming by. Fairy of Sarcasm, a whole bunch of people in the chat. Jazz is saying, I feel you, Brad. Publishing is all going pear-shaped. Jazzy's a bit of a writer, so
okay.
Yeah, in a spare time, which there isn't much of a at this point in time.
We always need writers, though.
Bron saying this dude's an Aussie legend, busting his ass and providing for his family. Absolutely. So
thanks, Bron.
Do have something that sort of fits in with that. So how do you balance being a dad of a young boy, Eli, working your full-time job and reselling? How's that balance work for you?
Yeah, so it gets pretty hectic. I sort of, one thing that I had in my head the whole time, I didn't want to go overboard with this and take time away from him. I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. And sort of if that started getting to that got to a point, I'd probably back off a bit. Yeah. But I've seemed to manage kind of after hours when he's in bed and all that sort of stuff. So for me with work, it's kind of, as I said, it's sort of dropping off. The morale in the place ain't great. So, you get a bit of free time there, especially like lunch breaks and stuff. I can do a lot of my listings. So the bonus is if I can get up earlier, if he's having a nap or something like that, I can go out, get some photos, get some measurements, and then when I'm at work at night, I can do all my listing or breaks and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's also, my wife works Wednesday and Thursdays, which works in well. So he goes to daycare of a Wednesday, and the mother-in-law and my mother look after him of a Thursday. So every second week when I'm off on them days, that gives me 2 full solid days. So whether I'm going out op shopping or sort of carrying on with me videos, or, you know, just doing a few photos and listing and that, I can work it in pretty well with that. So, and like my wife does a good job. She's you know, she's all over it. So she's with him a lot of the time through that. And then we have to change it up a bit, but sort of manage. So we get through it. But it's kind of, you get to the point, you don't really have time to sit down as such.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of one of those people that I'm sort of always busy anyway. So that doesn't really worry me. I like having something to do. Otherwise, I'm kind of on edge looking for something to do. So, you know, it works in all right. But it's mostly after hours.
I think you're balancing it quite well. So congratulations to you. I'm not sure I'd be able to keep up with a around. My mum say it wouldn't be easy. Pommy Pickers dropped in as well. G'day, Rod. Thanks for coming along. So I guess there's the whole reselling game, and you talked a little bit about YouTube. So you started your YouTube November last year, I believe. So what's the sort of plan with that, and where do you want to take that? Is you just sort of documenting your journey, or you have some things that you want to bring on?
I don't really know, to be honest. That just came across very random. It was the same with the whole Instagram thing. I just kind of made a page, and you know, I thought potentially maybe I'll get some sales out of it, with the Instagram, that is. And sort of went from there, and I just started following other people, and you know, it was just I was interested to see all the different unique personalities and all that sort of stuff just getting around. I just said, maybe I'll give this a crack myself. So I actually made a few videos, and then I just kind of watched them back, and I just hate the sound of my own voice and that, and waffling on. And so I deleted them. Like, what's the point? And then I thought, no, stuff it. I'll put one up. Went for a trip, you know, put it up. And a few people sent me a message like, I love the video. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, thanks. And then kind of went on with the next one, and then I actually learned how to edit and do a few bits and pieces. Not that that's good quality, it's just nice and rough, but I just started having a bit of fun with it. So I don't actually have any plans with that. I kind of plan to keep doing it just because it's been a bit of fun. And it just sort of feels like it's involved me with the community a bit more. People have sort of got to know me a bit more. And that's about it for that. It's just kind of just winging it. That's kind of how I go with everything, I suppose, just winging it, and that's the best way to put it.
No, I'm loving what you're bringing out. I love your intros and your thumbnails as well. Pretty entertaining. So
thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
I'll be definitely in the comment section checking you out. Jazza89, absolutely loving the advice plus the entertainment you're providing. Coco, keep up good work.
Cheers, Coco.
Jazz has dropped your channel in again, so if anyone hasn't subscribed to Brad, please jump over, show him some love. True Aussie bloke, and tells it how it is, so definitely worth a watch, and you get some entertainment value there as well, so definitely head over. Jazz is saying we all hate the sound of our voice. Absolutely.
I thought you said you hated the sound of my voice. I'm like, yeah, me too.
She wouldn't say something like that. She says it about me all the time, but that's all right. Look, Mum, good on you for stepping out of your comfort zone. It's not easy for the first time. Absolutely. You're so funny, dude. I also feel like I sound like a worker. Thumbnail of Fab and 15 plus. Love watching your videos. So, guys, if you do have any questions along the way, please drop them in the chat. We'll try and answer them for you. I have some more to ask. Hopefully, you'll be able to answer them. DBG saying that's what all YouTubers should be doing, just having a bit of a crack and enjoying it. Absolutely. That's what we're doing. Have some fun and trying to learn from others along the way. So good fun. We talked a little bit about yourself before, but I wanted to find out something that we don't know about you yet. So you got anything up your sleeve that you haven't sort of shared out in the community yet that you want to bring on here? Any other side hustles that you get up to or anything like that?
Yeah, I do a bit of bird breeding. You can never trust a bird person, but I have a lot of birds. So it's not so much a side hustle, I don't think. It's kind of, a few of them, they breed, you can sell them off and they kind of pay for their food. That's about it. But I also take in, the odd sick bird here and there, or if they've been hurt and all that sort of stuff. So nothing real unique or anything like that, just all sort of basic pets and all that sort of stuff. But I've done that for a long time, and that's always sort of, I think, sort of thinking back, my parents sort of had them. I remember my nan had them. It was just kind of, they were always there. So I kind of ended up taking that with me, I think. So I got that to play around with. That keeps me busy also.
Is that like canaries or budgies?
I don't have canaries, no. I've got cockatiels, I've got princess parrots, Indian ringnecks, quails, budgies, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So
full blown operation you got on there.
Yeah, I don't know if the neighbours appreciate it, but anyway.
Nothing wrong with the bird sound.
No, so yeah, I got a bit of that. I played a bit of music back years ago too. That hasn't happened for a long time though. I sort of kind of only just stuffing around with that at home for a while, and I've basically, since the young fellas come, I just ran out of time. So
I did occasionally playing the guitar the other day, actually, in one of your stories. So
yeah, I still don't mind having a bit of a strum here and there, but I'm not as serious about that as what I was when I was younger. So when I was 16, I was going to play in a big rock band or metal band or something, but that never eventuated. And all the rock stars, they drink a lot of piss, but I think I drank too much, so it just didn't happen.
My extent of music is Guitar Hero, and I suck at that as well. So,
yeah, I'm no good at that. I really struggle with Guitar Hero. I can't tell it either.
Nah, there's a few that go right, but not many of them. You have to be careful. What's your favourite thing to thrift other than footy jumpers? Kara's asking.
Favorite, I think, would be probably books and stuff, just random unique books, and that's just based on the fact you take a photo, you scan it, you list it, and then it sells. And some of them seem to sit there for a long time, but they kind of bring in some good money. So it's not something I'm into, but it's kind of been one of my favorite things to pick up, I think.
Yeah, right. We sort of started on books and had an interesting experience with books. So, I think there's definitely money. You just have to get the right one.
Yeah.
Drew's saying that was his childhood. The old boy used to breed cockatiels and quails.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Looks like DBG's heading off. Thanks for coming in. What did he say? Metal band. So you're in a metal band, were you?
Yeah, nothing. Nothing that got out, but we just kind of played around with it. Yeah.
Got any promo tapes?
No. Well, I do, but they're not to be seen.
Might have to send one my way, I reckon. Just on the quiet. These days of playing in metal bands, I loved it. Rod had a bit of a crack at the old metal bands. Apparently, they were the best band ever to tour. So there's one for you.
Yeah,
I think a few people would probably claim that one. Michaela, biggest lesson learnt as a reseller? That's a good question.
Yeah, definitely just do things properly from the start. When I started, I assume a lot of people have done this, but I literally rushed into it. As I said, I wing a lot of things, and I winged it. Basically took dodgy ass photos, didn't measure stuff, put it up. And now I'm still going back through my original listings, fixing them. And now I know to do things properly for sure, check everything. I mean, I sent video games without install discs, shit like that, just big no-nos. And you learn that, I suppose. It's just part of the journey. But I really winged it at the start. And if I was to start again, I'd do it properly.
I think that's the same for all of us. There's still things floating around that we did like a year and a half ago that we're sort of still trying to fix. So
yeah,
can definitely get out of control. It's a lot easier to do it from day dot than down the track.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, Mum, Drew's asking, what should we look for when it comes to NBA jerseys?
I'm no professional at NBA jerseys. I don't even pick a lot of them up. I've found, like I seen one the other day for about $15. It was a Utah Jazz one. Most of them, those swingman jerseys and stuff, secondhand, you're only going to get, I don't know, $20, $30 for them. Like new, some of them are 60. So I tend not to pick them up from op shops. I haven't seen a lot, unless they're the old Mitchell Ness sort of jerseys and stuff like that. They do go for some good cash. But other than that, I don't know heaps about it. I just, as I said, I collected barley ones, so that was pretty bogany. So, yeah. But definitely Mitchell and Ness jerseys, if you can get them for a good price, they will sell. But, your Adidas Swingmans and stuff, they're not actually worth heaps. So,
yeah,
if you look on eBay, a lot of them are actually only new $60.
Yeah, right. That's definitely a good thing to keep in mind. Zach's popped in. Hey, Brad and Brad. Thanks for popping in, Zach. Good to see you. Pirates Loot said, found an art book the other week and made a 50+ profit. Books are good.
Nice.
Cherie's dropped in as well. Thanks for coming along. Here we go. What other AFL goodies should we look out for, e.g. supporter shirts, etc.?
Anything 90s, 80s, 90s for sure. There are a lot of remakes now. There is like a retro line that has come out. So check the tag. If it says retro, it's not worth heaps. Yeah. But if you can find old jackets from the 80s and 90s, the zip up jackets, even T-shirts and stuff, they are worth quite a few bucks these days. Sometimes the best way to actually get rid of them is on Facebook groups, as much as we all hate Facebook at times. You'll just find mad supporters that don't go looking on eBay as such, but as soon as they see something pop up on Facebook, they'll pay stupid money for it. So, but definitely if you get anything pre-2000, it'll probably go well. And teams like, if you see South Melbourne or Fitzroy, teams that aren't around anymore, they'll do well too.
Brisbane Bears.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good question. What's your best thing you've resold?
Best thing, it's probably that old VHS tape that I sold a while ago. I just picked up a box for $5 and there was just all sorts of shit in there, but one of them I ended up selling for around $230 and they paid about $30 shipped to the US. So
wow.
So and then just out of that there was like heaps of cool stuff that actually made a lot of profits. So that was probably not the most expensive, but that was my favorite, just based on how banged up it was, and the dude was that stoked to get it. And he basically said he collected that movie. So he said, if you get another one, hit me up. But I don't think I'll see another one of them again.
Wow. And you just actually got a big lot, didn't you, just recently?
VHS, yeah. There was a couple of all right ones in there, actually. I got talking to Rob, and there was one I couldn't find many comps on. I hit him up, and he said, chuck 150 on it. He said, it's worth about 80, but you might get some sucker sort of pay the 150. So I was like, lucky we know him, eh? I wouldn't have gone that high, but anyway. And it was an instant watcher too, so.
He knows.
But yeah, they were cleaning out the one of the locals, and she come in saying, oh, I know you collect these things, which I'm not a collector. I just pick them up as I go, sort of thing. But I said, yeah. And she said, you can have them all for $2 if you take every single one of them. They had a big load of CDs and stuff come in, and they just wanted the shelf space. She said the only person that buys the VHS tapes was me. So well, $2, can't go wrong with that.
No, yeah, made back.
I've sold two of them already, so that's a bonus.
In the profit. Chris is asking, are you willing to share your eBay store?
Yeah, for sure. I'll maybe put that on Instagram. Is that the easiest way?
Yeah. If you send it to me, I can probably drop it in the description afterwards as well, so people can come back.
Yeah, cool. Yep. No worries.
Brad, how good are you at footy tipping? Asking for a friend.
This is because he's setting up the footy tipping this year. This means I won't get in if I. I actually previous years. I sucked because I was a bit of a punter. I like getting on the punt, and I wasn't a good punter because I love the roughies. I chased all the roughies. So somehow that converted into the way I tipped. I went the odd roughie here and there, and 2018 I come dead last. Yeah, no good.
You can
a couple of weeks. Yeah. But last year I actually had a crack and I won it. That's
really?
So I actually took it out last year. So can't come from the bottom. So
you can revert back to your roughie tipping. That'd be good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Put an extra $10 in my pocket would be nice. Joey's popped in before he heads off to bed. Thanks for popping in, Joey. Good to see you. Thrifty Pixie Cara saying, I'm waiting for the day when I find a crazy ass VHS. I think we're all on the hunt now that we sort of know what's going on with old Rob's store. I've seen some pretty cool ones lately, so definitely worth a look. I'm scared of VHS. Might need to start looking. Yeah, I think it's very hit and miss, and you do have to be careful. But the other day we sold a Wiggles one for like 28 posted, so I was pretty happy with that.
Crazy, isn't it? I think the good thing is you're not paying much for them. Like you're paying 50 cents and $1. That's how I see it. And like I've been to garage sales where they've had a box of them, and you offer them a couple of bucks, and they usually take it. Finding gems though, like it's pretty rare, I guess.
Yeah.
But like Rob said on his channel, a lot of the time you can get them for you'll sell them for about $8 a piece. So if you're not paying much money, I mean, that's profit. It just depends what sort of margins you're looking at and how much you want to make. But they do sell. It's crazy. Like I sell at least one a week, and I don't focus on VHS like hardcore. I have quite a few tubs of them now, but I do on average probably sell one a week. So
yeah, definitely. KLC's dropped in. Thanks. Good to see you, Louise. Zach saying BMX Bandits is gold. Found a bunch of VHS cases on the weekend. That's awesome. Cool. So I think we're up to date. Here we go. Any news on what you're taste testing next?
There's quite a list going on now. So I've got to just pick and choose through that. There's actually one that I've been chasing for so long. Zach hit me up a while ago with Flipping Good Stuff about a beer that he liked, and I cannot get onto it. So even like when I tried Rob's one, I had to get that shit from WA through Dan Murphy's just to get it here. I tried the exact same thing with, I can't even remember the name of the beer now. I've got it written down, the one that Zach recommended, but I just can't find it. So I'll keep chasing that. I'm hoping that one's coming up soon, but I've got to go through the list. I've got a few there now. There's actually a lot of ginger beer and ginger flavored alcohols people are recommending now too, since I like that other one. So
I like the Matt. They go down well, I reckon.
Oh yeah, that was good. Good smash.
That one you might find is Zach's homebrew, and he's just trying to sneak it under the Brad Hogarden, go for it. Toby's having a laugh there. If anyone else got some questions, please ask along the way. We kind of touched on a little bit before, but I like to ask people sort of if there was one thing apart from what you said before about doing everything right. As someone coming into reselling, what sort of tip specifically would you give them? Would you say do a heap of research YouTube, or would you say go out and sell stuff from your home? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think selling stuff from your home is a good thing, but I did it and I stuffed up big time because I didn't do the research beforehand. So when I started, I had a heap of like Nintendo games and shit that was my own. I didn't play it, and I put them up for auction, and they went for bugger all. So if I had my time again, buy it now, buy it now. Everything for me now. But
that's my feelings.
Yeah. Some good ones went pretty cheap. Like I've seen them again since, and so yeah, I could have made way more. Like I got money out of them. Don't get me wrong, but I could have got way more. So, so I'd say do the research first for sure. And if you kind of specialize in something, kind of target that first, rather than going all out and just picking random shit off shelves, because that's what I did, and I've still got some of that stuff that I'm just going to donate straight back. So
yeah, no, I think that's great advice. I think I like to ask people when they come on, because everyone's had a different experience about learning. So I think it's cool to like ask everyone what their sort of tips are, because I think that's the biggest thing getting into reselling. You make a lot of mistakes to start with, so if you can avoid half of those, it's half the battle. I think.
Yeah, halfway there.
I did have a question in relation to your reselling model. So are you a quick flip man, or are you looking for top value on a lot of your stuff? Like, what's your sort of strategy?
Very much quick flip. I am an undercutter most of the time. I like to get it in, get it out. Like I've mentioned on a couple of my videos, I like to bulk things up, move it fast, as long as it is making a decent profit. Like I don't want to be screwing myself, But definitely quick flip. But there are some items, if I know they're going to bring in a lot of cash, I will price them high, and I'm happy to wait. But most of the time, it's quick flip.
I think you got to have a bit of a balance because there are things that you can wait, and they don't take space or anything like that. So
yeah,
I think it's good to have that balance.
yeah.
You sort of mentioned a little bit before about breeding the birds and that, but do you have any hobbies outside of reselling and your work that you get up to?
Drinking piss is one of them, that's for sure. If anyone's picked up on that, yeah. Yeah, no, so I used to play like a lot of video games and that just during night shift. That's kind of stopped since I've been reselling.
Yeah.
My night time has come around to that. And, taking on a little one, that's my main hobby now.
Yeah.
So it's sort of hanging out with him and like a lot of we were one of the last ones out of our friendship group to have kids. So catching up with them, finding time to catch up with them, that's probably the main hobby of mine now.
Yeah.
But yes, that's about it really. Like I love my sports, love watching my sports, all that sort of stuff. And then as I said, I've played a bit of music. That's sort of died off a bit. Yeah, they're the main ones for me.
And we were talking the other day, and you said that having your son sort of change your life quite a lot in a positive way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let me settle down, that's for sure. Like, not that I was, wild. And obviously, I love a beer, but I was never wild or anything like that. But, I just sort of slowed down a bit. And, now it's sort of, instead of 4 or 5 a.m. piss-ups with the boys down at the nightclubs and that, it's, you're going home early, you have a couple of quiet beers and some dinner and all that sort of stuff. So I suppose it is good for the health. Good for the health.
Not good for the sleep, but good for the health.
No.
Jazza89 is asking, is there a particular item that you haven't sold that you're contemplating giving a crack?
Look, I'm willing to take on anything, providing it's going to, make some money, but not really that I can think of that I'm going to take on at the moment. No.
Yeah. I think it's a natural progression. Once you sort of like get your head around one category, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I can get my head around something else now, but it does take up a lot of brain space. So
yeah, that's right.
Definitely hard. Buying spaces in, thanks for coming along. Also, Shazad, thanks for coming along. Shazad, good to see you. If anyone else has some questions for Brad, please drop them in along the way. I've got a few more here. So reselling in Australia, what's your take on it? I guess a lot of people sort of question the scalability of it. Obviously, you look to the US and you think, man, like there's so many opportunities over there. But do you see reselling in Australia as a viable option long term?
Yeah, definitely. And it's been around for years. Like now we're just more aware of it due to social media and all that sort of stuff. There's definitely money to be made, and you've only got to look at stuff like that VHS tape that I've sold. Things like that, things sell. Like the other day, Mitch from Retro Rescuers, he sold a colouring book for like $180 or something.
Yeah,
It's like there's always something. People want shit, and if they can't find it, they're going to pay money for it. It's simple as that. Yeah, like America and stuff, it's way bigger over there. I try not to. I do follow stuff in America, but for myself, I watch a lot of the Aussie stuff more so because for me, it's more informative. I get more information out of that because there's things like I watch you guys, you're picking up RM Williams stuff, like all that sort of thing. You don't see that over there.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's definitely long term. I think always there's going to be some form of reselling. I mean, it's always going to be there.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. I think all the Aussie channels that are sort of coming out now, it's really cool because you can sort of relate to it a lot more, and you can kind of like you're all on the same page with shipping, and you kind of understand, and you can see those items where you're not probably going to find half the items that they find in the US. So. Here's a good one from Zach. What is your holy grail item that you want to find in a thrift?
Whoa. God, that's a tough one. There's plenty. A match-worn Chris Grant jumper would be nice, something like that. That's probably never going to happen. Yeah. It'll be obviously footy related, and it'd be some form of, massive star. Probably no Darren Jarman or anyone like that. Oh. Wouldn't go that far. But yeah, something along those lines would be great. It's probably highly unlikely, but that's my bread and butter. So if I could find something like that, I'd be all up and about.
I want to find one of these bloody Mambo Louds that Drew pulled the other day.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice too. That was a good find, yeah.
Or a nice Coogee, I reckon. Looks like someone special to use dropped in. The room full of horror collectors probably counts as a hobby.
Yeah, there's plenty of them kicking about too.
A lot of pops and stuff like that.
Yeah, plenty of pops. Right into my Walking Dead. Once that came out, I just got like hooked on it. I know a lot of people dropped off through the middle there, but I hung on and got a bit obsessed with it. So a lot of figures, you know, anything McFarlane toys, anything that's come out from them. I've got most of them, I think. And then I love all like my 80s horror and stuff like that. So a lot of figures from that, you know, a bit of artwork, stuff like that, just bits and pieces, slowly expanding that.
Well, thanks for providing a little bit of a tip off there, Kate. Appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, I know, right? Keeping tabs. Here we go. What's next on the list for traveling locations to hit up?
Traveling. So just in a couple of months' time, we're going to Cairns on a family holiday. First one, taking the young bloke first trip outside of the state. So that'll be fun. So it's basically I turned 30 last year. Kate turns 30 next month, and we thought we'll do that for our 30th celebration. So we're going up there and having a look around. I haven't been there since I was a kid. So, and hopefully get back to Bali maybe in a year or so.
Nice. Pick up some more.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a little bit of chat before we came on about your sourcing and stuff. So obviously you've just picked up a storage unit not that long ago, and you're sort of in the prop now, I believe, for that. But we're talking a little bit about your op shops. So you've got a decent run of op shops in your area?
Yeah, so there's roughly off the top of my head, there's around 20 in this town. And they're all, well, most of them are pretty cheap compared to what I've seen. I mentioned to Brad earlier, what I mentioned to him was that a lot of them are cheap compared to other places. You go sort of Melbourne way and all that, and I just see prices and it blows me away. Yeah. Whereas I'm going into some of the ones here, you're rolling in and they just got, you know, everything's $1 sort of thing. So we have plenty of them. So mostly at the moment, I'm just hitting up the op shops and also the garage sales. Big fan of the garage sales. Before I was a reseller, I used to hit them up a bit just to try and find gems. Yeah. Can't remember if I got anything, to be honest, but I used to just roam around for a look. So they are my main sources. I got the storage unit back just before, it was about 3 days before Christmas, and took that on. That was pretty full on, and I'm hoping to do a few more of them this year. That's it was good fun. It was hard work, but it was definitely good fun digging through someone's shit. And and then I do buy a lot of stuff when it comes to footy jumpers and that. I buy a lot online, and then like I'll buy them off Gumtree and then sell them on eBay. You know. Buy it off eBay, sell it on Facebook, just sort of roll with that. So a lot of footy jumpers I do that with. And that's, once again, I said, this just sign stuff, not so much the stuff I collect. I try not to flip that for profit because I don't want people to stop selling me things because I still want to collect. So
Yeah, it's a delicate game when you're like a collector and a reseller. Like I know when I first got in and I was doing like a lot of my gaming stuff, it is hard because collectors look really harshly on people that resell stuff. So
for sure, yeah. And even I just see in the groups and stuff that get around, there's social media groups and that, and they just flame people for that shit. They hate it. Like they say, it's not illegal. You can do it, but you know, reputation's everything when it comes to collecting. So I just want to stay on the good side of that. So I'll help guys out too, because a lot of them help me out. I'll give them good price on stuff because I'll get good stuff back. So and I'm happy to do that.
You got to grease each other's hand here and there, how to make it work.
Yeah.
Jennifer's dropped in. Thanks for dropping in, Jennifer. Jazz has asked, do you consider yourself a bit of a risk taker when it comes to storage sheds?
I don't really know. I'm trying to, probably not, because I was really up and down with the one that I got. I was just, once I started winning it, then I started getting real negative and paranoid that, what have I done? And then I won it. So I suppose it was a bit of a risk, but I wasn't willing to take the risk. And then I just got there and it was sort of chaotic. I'd rather play it safe now. Like now I know what was involved. I'll definitely play it safe from here on in. Yeah. But I mean, if they're cheap enough, like I will take. I'm not going to go and whack $1,000 on a bunch of mystery boxes. No way in hell. But I mean, if I can get something for under, a couple $100 and it's just full of mystery and you can see one or two items that will help you break even, then I'll take the punt on the mystery, but financially I won't go huge.
Yeah, definitely. Michaela is asking advice for buying storage units. So you touched on a little bit there, but yeah, what would you sort of say to someone that's just getting into buying storage units?
Make sure you got enough space to store everything. Make sure you know the size of it. And if you're close by, if you can get there and have a look beforehand, they open the door and they'll let you have a look. So go and actually have a physical look, because in Australia, it's kind of not like the shows that you see, the Americans, where they just there bidding on it. They pull everything out. They take photos of it. A lot of the good stuff's probably gone. I mean, there's still potential to make money, but, you know, if you can, go and have a look. The one that I got, I couldn't physically go and have a look. It was too far away, and it didn't have any dimensions on how big the unit actually was. So going by the photo, thought, there's a lot of, there's a lot of shit in there, but we'll be right. We got there and it was massive. So I filled my shed and more. There's another guy just took heaps of the stuff that I just couldn't physically handle, and I have 2 pretty decent sized sheds. So,
wow, that's good advice. Mel said, I found a fully signed 97 Super League jersey the other day. That's pretty cool.
Thrifted? Was that thrifted?
I presume so, yeah.
Wow, that's good.
It's very good. Hold on
97 too. That's worth a few bucks.
Pommy's saying the storage unit he was bidding on the weekend with stupid money.
Oh, they do. It's crazy. Some of them just ridiculous.
Well, we've had some experience with them, but we haven't landed one yet. So one day we'll get on. Newbies ramping up the prices is getting excited. Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask a little bit about your actual reselling business, and sort of if you have a bit of a business plan set up. I know that Mel and Bron were talking about it this morning on their live. Do you have sort of goals that you've set yourself, or you just sort of playing it by ear and seeing where it evolves to, and then look at setting goals later on? Or
I'm in the process of that now. So once again, another thing that I was just winging it, and now I'm trying to sort my shit out. So at the moment, I'm definitely looking to expand, and I'm kind of setting up a shed to sort of work from, because at the moment, I'm sort of tripping over things. I've got shit everywhere. I've got cupboards, chockers of stuff. I think the wife's getting annoyed because I've got other people's clothes lying around the house everywhere, and just, stuff like that. So I do I plan to be more organized, basically. That's the thing. I want to sort of get out there. I'm going to clean her up, paint it up, and set up from there. And then I'm going to go from there and do it all properly.
No, that's definitely. I think that's really important, having a clean workspace. Like this room was packed a while ago, and we try to clean it out to make it as smooth as possible. And it's definitely made a difference. It's still not perfect, but like Mel's set up, and you're just like, oh, that's awesome. Like it's so clean.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She said she paid $8 for that jersey as well. So that's a steal.
That's a good buy. Yeah, that's a good buy.
Had some success selling vinyl last year to a collector, sold about 36 to 40 records, all up for 400. Have you had any success selling records?
No, I haven't. I haven't sold records. Just based on it takes too much time to go through them all. I was always looking through the records to see what I could find, and I still to this day hadn't found anything good. I know the odd one floats up and down, but I just found if I'm doing a day's worth of op shopping and sourcing on that, I probably don't have time to go through every single one of them. Looking at Dennis Walter for every single time and just shit like that. Yeah.
Clean space, clean mind, absolutely. Happy to say we're contained in one room for now. I think they're going to grow pretty quickly, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think space restricts most resellers. Kate's saying it's taken over the whole house. It's interesting to have like a reselling partner in the chat, because we kind of like, obviously me and Jazz do it together, but you kind of it's interesting to see it from a different point of view. So look, I'm sure Kate, long term, it's going to pay off. So
yeah, I think she's starting to see now. When, like I mentioned, that videotape, she's seen that one. You sold that for what? Like, I think she's getting on board. I've had the odd time there when she's counting jigsaw puzzles with me and just shit like that. So we're slowly getting to there. She actually came into an op shop the other week too. So that was
here we go. Could have another reselling power couple come on board soon.
Oh, we'll try.
Get her on a video. I reckon your little man would probably take off if you put him on there as well. So, but be careful.
Yeah.
Stuff. Would you sell your collections under a different name? I suppose that's an option if you wanted to keep a good name, but hard, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, people do it. I wouldn't, because that's even worse. If you get caught out, they know what's going on, so they find out pretty quick.
Yeah,
a lot of people know the stuff you got, and
yeah.
Basically, for me, anything I get Bulldogs, I don't sell anyway. So I'm just looking to buy that stuff. There's been the odd one here and there that I have sold, just for whatever reason. I might have that player 2 or 3 times and go, well, I can move on to bring someone else in, but it's pretty rare I'll sell that stuff anyway.
Yeah. As a collector, it's hard to let go of the stuff that you
actually.
My wife hates me bringing stuff home. I'm greedy. I'm great at sneaking though, but she always somehow finds it. I think reselling can be very hard to hide your stuff. That's a good take on it, especially if you get.
I don't have to hide stuff now. I just got to hide my trips. I get sent down to the supermarket to do something, and it's via an op shop, which is 10K out the way. And then I can sit in the back of the car for a little while, all the stuff you get, and then you forget about it, and she finds it then. So
you're outing yourself, mate. She's keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, I know she's watching. Mate, she's a psychologist. She's always on to me anyway. So
I'll make sure I don't say too much. She might start psychoanalyzing me, and we're going to get bad. I had a couple more questions. We've got about 10-15 minutes left to go. So if anyone has some last-minute questions for Brad, please drop them in the chat. Try and bring them up. Favorite part about reselling? What do you love about it?
I think it's just a getaway sort of thing. You sort of start feeling stressed out some days, or you're tired, whatever, not feeling well. I'll go to an op shop. By the time you walk out, if you get a couple of gems, you're feeling good again. Just between that and just the thrill of finding the good stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's the best part of it.
The hunt and the sale, I think.
Yeah.
What's conversely, what's the worst part of it, you reckon?
At the moment, the mess.
Yeah.
Just still trying to sort through that. At times, I find listing stuff like jeans and that just drives me insane. I just get sick of measuring stuff. Yeah. And like I had a little stint from that storage unit. There's just heaps of dresses and shit, stuff I'm not into. Measuring that sort of stuff is just got a bit brain numbing there for a while. But you sold your own. Once I started selling, I know I sold them super cheap. And once I started selling, I thought, this is all right. It's not too bad. But sometimes it just gets a bit of a drag. But most of the time, it's fine.
I think it's just finding your rhythm with it. And I think over time, you kind of you do find that, and it becomes less monotonous. But finding that rhythm is really hard. I think that's probably the hardest thing that I've found, is trying to find that consistency. So. B did ask about your best flip. Now, you did say before the VHS. Has there been a better profit that you've had?
The VHS as a whole is going to probably turn over about 1,500 once it's all done, just due to the other stuff that was in there. Yeah. There was a few others that sold. There was also a trade and all that sort of stuff. Other than that, I did get a good haul early days of like vintage Batman stuff. I collect a bit of Batman stuff too, so it was kind of hard to part with. But that was right at the time, the car blew up, the teeth went to shit, all that. So I had to flip it. So I walked into a garage sale, and this guy had just heaps of 80s and 90s Batman stuff, all sealed in the packet, like really well looked after. And I'm thinking, this bloke obviously knows what he's got. He's going to charge stupid price for this. So I just thought, I'll hit him up. I said, what do you want, mate? He said, $5 a piece, but if you get a heap of them, he goes, I'll do you a deal. Yeah. So I ended up with about 16, 17 of these toys, and he gave it to me for $45.
Wow.
Which was insane. So I think there's a photo of that on my Instagram, like right at the start, early days. Most of them I've flipped now, so most of them are gone, and that's turned a really good profit. There's still a few left that I just priced bullshit high just because I wanted to keep them, let them sit on the shelf for a while. But I have had a few offers on it that I've knocked back that was, pretty decent. But I wasn't willing to take it at the time. So I think that's probably, the Batman stuff's probably the best flip. But that VHS tape was pretty sweet essentially cost me about 7 cents for it. So.
Does it saying coming across the classic, like the vintage toys and games from back in the day? For us, it was the early 90s. It's always awesome to find those things that you remember having as a child, I think. Larger factor. So before we head off tonight, do you want to talk a little bit about your channel, give yourself a bit of a plug and tell everyone what's coming up?
Look, it is what it is. I get on there, ramble some shit, drink some piss. It's if you're looking for an informative channel, I'm probably not the best. I just get stuff and I sell it. I'll show you what I sell. I'll show you what I pick up. For what's coming up, I don't really know. I'm sort of having a break from op shopping at the minute because my death pile's up to my chin. I've literally I've got to find a few days, just get that sorted. But I still will put a little bit of stuff on there. I think, as I said, I'm planning on some more storage units this year. I want to do a couple of videos on that, and I plan to sort of, get right into that and do a decent video this time. Last time I just kind of, as I said, when I got there, I was just really overwhelmed, and I just kind of shot some random footage and spoke about it. So I want to do a couple of those. I will do some more ride-alongs and, thrift hauls and all that sort of stuff, but I have no real plans on where it's going. It's just another thing that I'm winging. So
no, I think the storage units is cool to see. Like, I always look forward to seeing that stuff because it's something a little bit different. Something bit off, and I think you learn a lot from those sorts of things as well, because you have to research items, whereas when you go in a thrift shop, you know what you're picking up. So
that's right.
I definitely want to give one a crack sometime soon. And like I said before we came on, I just missed out on one a fair while back now, but that's Brad's link, so please head over to Brad, putting out some really fun videos to watch. It's cool to see, like,
always up to testing the frothy. So
you're ranking
let us know if you got something unique.
ranking the beers and the other drinks, so definitely worth a watch. It's cool to see a different take on things as well, so definitely head over to Brad's channel, show him some love, leave him some comments. It's great to see this little community growing. So if anyone has any more questions before we go, please drop them in last minute. Jazz is saying, absolutely loving the content, mate. Not forced humor as well. Freaking love it. Yeah. I think that's something that both you and Rob, the VHS Thrifter, have, is just that natural entertainment value. So definitely enjoy what you guys are bringing. So thanks for sharing your journey. It's cool to see.
It's been fun. It's been fun. So
I think that's what YouTube brings. Like you said before, it's sort of made you feel like a bit more connected with the community. So
it's kind of what it's been. It's sort of, people's just started messaging me on Instagram and just having a chat now. It's sort of got to that point, and just sort of like yourself and a few of the others, just kind of just talking about random stuff. So it's been really good. But it's just a way to chat with the community more. I mean, the Facebook group's awesome, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the time you don't really know who you're talking to and all that sort of thing. So
it's a different level.
And you start watching people, and as I said, everyone's just so unique in their own way. Everyone's looking at different things. They have different views on things. It's just really good fun, and I'll just keep doing these videos. I actually didn't expect anyone to sort of watch on, and now a few people have jumped on board, and I'm here talking to you and stuff. So it's just people have jumped on and having some fun with me. So that's the main thing. As long as people are enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. I really like what you bring in, and I will say that your contribution to the live auction was amazing as well. So thanks heaps for supporting that. It's quite clear you're a really decent bloke. So thanks for participating in that and sharing love and supporting the cause, because I know that that all that went to people that need it. So thanks.
That auction was amazing. Thank you for doing it. It was the amount of money raised was just insane. So just everyone together as a whole, it shows how good the actual community is. Just amazing. So
reselling community definitely shows something, and I think stuff like that makes you really really value the community you're in. So it sort of showed me that I'm in the right space, which is awesome. Brad Flipper, just make sure you see me first for Crow's Guernsey buyers, not Brad to Aussie Thrifters.
Two Adelaide boys fighting for it.
Yeah, well, I found some cool ones around, but nothing super cool. Great chat. Brad's glad to see you on in the show, dude. So thanks for agreeing and coming on. Appreciate you taking some time away from family, and thanks
for
giving you some time away to come and chat with us. Last little part, please go sub to Brad. Love what he's doing. I'm sure the channel is going to keep growing, so head over there, show some support, and yeah, really great guy to talk to on Insta as well. So head over there, show some love. And yeah, let's just keep growing this Aussie reselling community. I think it's awesome to see what's going on.
The more in it, the better. It's still a competition, but everyone's so good. Everyone's got something different to bring to the table. I mean, certainly, like the other day, I hit you up about those pants. I just straight onto it. Very helpful. You know, Rob with the video, stuff like that. It's just awesome. So loving it. Absolutely.
I think that's a good thing as well, is we all have different things that we know. So you can reach out, like I've reached out to Game On Couple to help me with some stuff that I couldn't find comps on, or I didn't understand what I was looking at. And it just, what goes around comes around. So I'm sure in the future I'll be reaching out to you on some sort of jersey and you'll be able to help me out. So it's definitely worth it. All right, guys. Well, we'll leave it at that. Looks like everyone's rounding up in the chat. So thanks for coming along. We hope that you enjoyed the chat. We do have another one on Sunday as well. A lot of Josh is coming on, so that'll be a good little chat with an international guest. So yeah, as I said before, sub to Brad, show him some love, and we'll see you next time on This Is Your Reselling Life.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.